I hope you can see me and hear me clearly.
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. Happy Dashera.
Happy Dashera.
So you're celebrating it, or do you guys celebrate, or?
Yeah, we do pujas, and in the for two days it was like we put like books for puja. So yesterday there is no study, so that's why I didn't attend any classes. Today morning I took the books out and attended the class. So yeah, there are
Yeah,
lots of pujas and things. Yeah.
that's great. That's awesome. And we are given an off after 4. That is why, because it's the Shara. Mostly
Yeah.
evening gather.
So you will be doing like pujas or gathering?
Yeah, we had a havan over here in the morning, and in the evening, there's like celebration and general, like public, there is celebration, no? So people generally go out and attend uh,
Yeah.
and all of those things. So yeah, so evening, that is why post 4 we like given off to offline, online, all students.
Yeah. In our place, like like yesterday was like a day off for all the educational things. No studies, because like we say like puja. We put the books to puja for Saraswati Devi, so that we'll get all the blessing for the next year.
Awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
Great. So let's begin today's class then.
Yeah.
I think that uh, I posted on the group, but maybe students thought the
Yeah.
pranayam is.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah. No worries. We'll just
Let's
complete
start.
today's topic. Yeah.
Okay.
So just sit comfortably. Keep the back and neck straight. And gently close your eyes. Start observing the breath. Just watching the natural flow of the breathing. Keep the body aligned. Make sure that there is no stress in the body. If you feel there is stress accumulated somewhere, just mentally relax those muscles. And come back to your breathing. Slowly begin to deepen the breath. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just feel the vibrations. Join the palms together and rub the palms together. Place them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at your palms. Open up your eyes, start coming back. And namaste to everyone. Let's begin today's session. Before I begin today's session, I'd like to say this thing that I know your meditation class has been suspended for today, right? Since we have an off post 4 o'clock, so this is your last class for today. But today is a very auspicious day, right? And so take out some time in your day to meditate, right? Even though you're not having a class, you should take some time for meditation today. Be it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, anything that you can, that you feel is affordable for you, that amount of time you can take out and do a little bit meditation today, right? So that you guys can actually, make the most of the day, right? Because it is quite an auspicious day. Okay? So let's begin with today's topic. Yesterday we did 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐴 and Pranayama. Today we are doing Bhastrika Pranayama. Right? 𝐵HASTRIKA. Bhastrika. So you can just write down the name of the pranayama. Right? And this is a very again heat generating pranayama. So it's also in English it's called bellows breath. Bellows. Right. So the term Bhastrika it means bellows. That is why it is called the bellows breath, right? Right, and it's called Bhastrika or bellows breath because the way in which you inhale and exhale, that that breath, it's just like blowing the bellow, right? So I think blacksmith blows the bellow, right? And the way in which he has to breathe in order to blow the bellow, that is the way in which we are going to breathe, right? When we do this pranayama, right? So let's begin with the posture. So like I said, in all pranayams except Ujjayi, your posture should be sitting, back neck straight. Sitting in any meditative posture is good. So Sukhasana, Padmasana, Padmasana, Swastikasana, Bhadrasana, Siddhasana,
Yoni Asana. So there are a lot of meditation postures, but some of them I just named for you, right? So you guys can go ahead, take any comfortable sitting posture, right? Keep the back and neck straight, and the body should be overall relaxed. So like in asana, the asana is described as a position, right? When even when you do it in Hatha Yoga, so you're comfortable in it and there is stability in your asana. Both of the things are quite important. So you're going to be in a sitting posture, comfortable and stable, right? So when it comes to Bhastrika Pranayama, Bhastrika Pranayama has a lot of variations. Okay, so you will find variations like only breathing through the abdomen. So movement of the abdominal muscles when you inhale and exhale. You will also find the technique of movement of the chest when you inhale and exhale. You will find the technique where you close one nostril, then you inhale and exhale in this pattern. Then you close the left nostril, inhale, exhale in this pattern. So it totally depends, like you will find multiple variations when it comes to Bhastrika Pranayama, right? But the main thing is the way in which you are taking the breath. And in the original technique, we mostly move the chest, even though in most places you will find either it is a combination of chest and abdomen both. So maybe inhalation you are expanding the abdomen, but exhalation you are contracting the chest, or vice versa. So there are, like I told you, there are many variations of this pranayama. But main one is when there is movement in the chest, both in inhalation and exhalation, right? So when we did Kapalabhati, we did forceful exhalation, if you remember, and we contracted the abdomen, right? When we were exhaling forcefully. So in Bhastrika, we are in the same way we are putting the same effort. Okay, so like we were doing exhalation actively. Now we are doing both inhalation and exhalation. Both of them are active, right? And they are fast, right? And chest is used, right? So Kapalabhati is different from Bhastrika in this sense that one thing, like even if you are using the abdomen, in some variation you use the abdomen also. So even if you are using the abdomen, it is different from Kapalabhati because now you are making conscious effort to make both the inhalation and the exhalation active. Earlier only we were focusing on making the exhalation active. In Kapalabhati, we mostly concentrate on the exhalation part, right? So another main feature of Bhastrika is forceful inhalation and exhalation, right? Again, mouth remains closed and the breathing is done only through the nose, right? Practicing Bhastrika from, like I said, sometimes one nostril is closed and Bhastrika is practiced, then other nostril is closed and Bhastrika is practiced. So when you do this practice in this way, it is a great way to just make sure both the nostrils are flowing properly, right? So it's like when we were doing Nadi Anulom Vilom and Nadi Shodhana, before that I made you practice from each nostril. But we did normal breathing, there was no force, and we did full breathing. Yeah. But this time we are only going to do chest breathing. We are going to close, when we close either nostril before the practice, we are going to do rapid inhalation, exhalation, just to make sure that both nostrils are open, they are not blocked, right? So when I demonstrate, I will demonstrate both these practices to you and we will do them one after the other, right? Because this one is going to support the main practice. When we do Bhastrika, we do one round of Surya Bhedan Pranayama, which you guys learned yesterday at the end of the Bhastrika practice. So when we do the rapid inhalation, exhalation, when we do the last exhalation, right? We form the pranav mudra, we close the left nostril, inhale through the right nostril, and then we close the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril, right? Sometimes even the practice of kumbhak is added. So when you read Hatha Yoga Pradipika, the main practice, we incorporate the retention in the last round of Bhastrika when we do Surya Bhed. So inhale, then hold, and then exhale. But we are not going to do holding. We are only going to inhale through the right and exhale through the left. Okay. So I will demonstrate also, but first I'm just giving you all the details what the technique is all about. right? So once again, don't get confused when you come across various techniques where the abdomen is being engaged, because again, these are variations that exist and it can be practiced that way as well. Okay. So now let me come to the main thing. So Bhastrika is a very rigorous practice. Okay. So you guys have to be very, very careful when you do Bhastrika, because it's a rigorous practice. So not everybody can go for Bhastrika practice. Okay. It will have immediate impact on your body, because now you are inhaling and exhaling at a very fast pace. Okay. So immediate impact is seen, and when this immediate impact is seen, that is when immediately people start feeling very dizzy, right? Or they feel as if they feel a lot of discomfort. They feel as if they are going to faint. That kind of feeling comes in because oxygen intake, oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange, this takes place very rapidly when we do Bhastrika. All right. So again, very big note for you to mention when you teach Bhastrika is that suspend in case of any discomfort, right? Or any dizziness, right? At any point of time, if this occurs even for you guys, you have to suspend the practice. Okay. Uh, Let me come to the contraindications. So, who should not practice? Yeah, that's a big question, especially when it comes to Bhastrika. Who should not practice? Right? It's a big question. So all the pranayams, they have their own contraindications, and not everybody can practice them. And Bhastrika is an intense practice, right? So other practices, they are not going to be as rigorous as Bhastrika, right? But Bhastrika is quite rigorous. And again, it is going to induce a lot of heat in the body. So when you practice Bhastrika, so before you sit for Bhastrika practice, body temperature notice, and then after you do the practice, notice the body temperature, that you will see immediate difference. In fact, some people, when they are practicing Bhastrika, at that point of time, sweating begins to happen. Just when they are practicing, then only they start seeing the effects of Bhastrika, and sweating starts in the body, right? So who should not practice? Again, when we begin heart patients, this practice is a complete no for them. Okay, hypertension, complete no, because when you breathe so rigorously, the heartbeat also becomes very fast, right? So it's going to put direct strain on the heart, right? Heart patients, high BP, they should not practice, right? Anybody who is, you know, uh, suffering from anxiety, right? Uh, from any pith-related issues, again, which are happening due to excessive heat, they should not practice, right? If there is chest pain, this should be avoided. Why? Because again, there is rigorous chest movement, at least in the one that we are going to practice, there is chest movement, right? So because there is chest movement, anybody who is having chest pain, they should avoid this practice, right? When I talk of heat related issues, issues like ulcer, right? Ulcers, acidity, these kinds of issues, it's only going to increase them when you go for this practice. So avoid at that point of time. Why take the chance, right? Then when we come to other contraindications, somebody who has undergone a stroke, right? Vertigo, because as I told you, the inhalation exhalation is quite fast. So in case of vertigo also, dizziness comes in very quickly. So vertigo patients, they see that they have to immediately suspend the practice. So if you have vertigo, don't go ahead and practice this, right? Apart from that, anybody who has hernia, right, or any surgery in the like chest or abdomen even, because when the diaphragm moves so fast, like with the breathing, so diaphragm will move up and down, right, as you expand and contract the chest. So you will see that it is placing pressure in these two regions. So somebody who is like who has undergone any kind of surgery, make sure that they consult their doctor first, right? And if the doctor allows, or at least 3 to 6 months gap is generally given, and even then they have to consult the doctor. So make them consult their doctor first, and then introduce this practice to the student, right? In case of pregnancy also, mostly this practice should be avoided because it is again placing undue pressure, right? People who have any sort of respiratory disorders, they should always practice it under the guidance of a teacher, because again, like I said, lungs and the way in which the lungs are used and the rate at which carbon dioxide and um, oxygen, that exchange takes place, that is quite like rigorous at that point of time. So only in the presence of a teacher you make somebody who is undergoing respiratory disorders practice Bhastrika Pranayama. Okay, let's come to the benefits. Yeah, so there are a lot of benefits also of this pranayama. So even though it is rigorous, it has its own benefits. Right? So first benefit that has been given in Hatha Yogic texts is that it balances Vata Pitta. Right? It balances all the three doshas. Right? So the best part is that you are working on all of them. But yeah, if it is aggravated at that point of time, it might lead to more aggravation only, right? Because this is going to generate a lot of heat in the body. The first thing is that it balances the doshas, right? Then next benefit, that the rate at which carbon dioxide and oxygen is exchanged, that is a very good thing that is happening when you do Bhastrika, right? So the amount of oxygen that is there in the body, that tends to go up, right? Because there is rapid exchange. So sometimes what happens is the body is not used to this level of oxygen, right? That is why people face a lot of dizziness. So right now, because like I told you in the beginning of the class also, we are not breathing correctly right now, right? So when you do Bhastrika, the oxygen level in the blood goes up, right? So immediately people feel dizzy or discomfort, right? So that is why that is why somebody who has vertigo should not practice it, because it causes immediate dizziness, right? But it is one of the advantages. The dizziness comes for a reason, and that is because the rate of oxygen in the blood goes up when you practice Bhastrika. Another thing that I mentioned, sweating, right? So when the sweating happens, right? Uh, this pranayam, you will see sweating happens very quickly in this pranayam. So it is great practice to release toxins from the body. But again, if done in a very rushed manner, it can have quite the opposite impact, or it can like like right now you are not flushing out any toxins, and then you go into very fast practice of Bhastrika, so your body won't be able to adjust very easily. So even the pace of Bhastrika, it should be increased with time. So even though initially to a beginner it would seem that it is very fast practice, right? There are various ways in which you can do Bhastrika also, depending on where you are as a beginner. You can take your time to do Bhastrika and then eventually reach that stage where it is done very fast. Same as Kapalabhati, like I told you in Kapalabhati, the intensity has to remain the same throughout the practice. So if you feel that this speed is not allowing you to keep the consistency in um, the practice of Kapalabhati, right? The pressure with which you are exhaling, then do not go for fast strokes. The same is the case with Bhastrika. If you feel that you cannot maintain that quick inhalation exhalation, then go for um, quicker exhalation, inhalation and exhalation than the normal breathing, but don't go for directly the extreme, right? Because it will be an extreme jump for your body. But the sweating, it releases toxins from the body. Bhastrika is a great pranayam to have to release toxins from the body. It has this great benefit, right? On a mental level, once again, physical level, body heat increases, right? Mental level also, when you practice Bhastrika, after that you will feel as if there is this time period of silence that you experience, right? So mentally, it clears your thoughts, right? And it helps you to, gain more clarity, right? When you practice Bhastrika, you will yourself experience this thing. right? And Bhastrika is a great practice again for someone who is undergoing depression because they do not have that, you know, um, the will to get up, do things. So it makes them active. The mind is too dull for people who are depressed. So it is a great practice for them. It makes the mind and body much more active, right? Um, uh, it's great if you are facing an issue with communication again, and people who need more extroversion in their nature, they can also practice Bhastrika Pranayama. It is shown to have helped them, right? And there are a lot of spiritual benefits also. Bhastrika is a great practice when it comes to gaining control over the breathing and the prana. Like when you gain control over breathing, you are somewhere gaining the control over the prana. So great practice for even a spiritual aspirant. But again, the time period for a spiritual aspirant is going to be more, right? And for us beginners, 10, 20 rounds, 25 rounds maximum, it is good enough to begin. So a beginner can take pauses in between because even in 10 to 15 rounds, you will see that you start feeling dizzy. Especially if this is the first time you are practicing this, you will see that you start feeling a little bit dizzy, right? In that case, suspend the practice. But for beginner, they can take breaks in between. So say 15 rounds, then come back to normal breathing, like we will observe, right? Then again, you can go for 15 more rounds, then again observe. Like this, you can do 3, 5 rounds of 10, 15 repetitions, right? So we can take pause, but when it comes to a spiritual aspirant, their entire goal and aim is quite, they have their eye on it, right? And they are looking for extending the time period of their practices, right? So they can go ahead and practice for a longer period of time. But then again, this practice also needs to be developed with time. So right now, if you are doing very fast and you feel dizzy, means you are not doing Bhastrika properly. You are forcing yourself to do Bhastrika, right? So some like it's a very fine line between the dizziness that is generally caused and one because you are forcing yourself to practice. So you will, as you practice, you will see which one you are falling into, right? So, but if again, if the dizziness is coming too soon because you are doing Bhastrika too quickly, then try to reduce the speed and see if there is a difference in the impact of Bhastrika, right? So there are like different paces with which you can do Bhastrika. One is slow, right? Overall, if I categorize, one is slow and one is fast, right? So I'll just demonstrate once to you guys like how we are going to go about the practice. Yeah. And then we will practice together. After this, I will also take your doubts if there are any doubts. Okay. So first thing before practicing Bhastrika, what we are going to do is we are going to again form the Pranav Mudra or Vishnu Mudra if you like. We're just going to close one nostril and then rapidly inhale and exhale. There's movement in the chest, right? So this is a pre-practice, okay? So you can go ahead and do this thing. So close one nostril and see this movement in the chest. I'm just keeping my hand to show you the movement in that chest. So this will help you to unblock. Then again, from other side. This is like a pre-practice that we will do, that both nostrils are open, right? So for main practice, this is the main practice. So sitting in any comfortable posture, right? We're just going to place the hands in any mudra on the knees, right? Then we are going to just directly go for the practice. And then 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐸. After last two, one round of 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐸. So over here, my chest was moving, right? And inhale and exhale was taking place both with effort. So this was also quite fast. You can go for slower pace or you can go for faster pace also, but I would recommend go for slower pace. So in slower pace, you can take one breath in 2 seconds. So one inhalation and exhalation in 2 seconds. So right? So here, make sure you're expanding the chest properly and inhalation, exhalation is equal. Sometimes, most of the times, in fact, what we do is inhale is uh, more, exhalation we give less time. So here you are making both of them equal, right? And initially you can practice, like I said, after slower pace and then move to high, more pace, right? Another very important thing when you do Bhastrika is that you don't move the body too much. So when we take breath at such a rigorous pace, the body begins to move. So you have to keep the body stable, right? For each pranayama practice, body stability is quite important, right? Another thing, you like place a lot of stress and pressure on your face, right? So try to reduce that as much as possible. Even though it is a rigorous practice, it is not something you don't want to do. So sometimes, we form that kind of face when we are practicing something. So try to avoid doing that. Initially, it might happen that you are like not comfortable. You are still getting the pace and getting a hang of the practice. So at that point of time, just observe if you feel you are causing too much contraction in the face muscle or the body is moving too much. You have to understand, you have to work on these things. And with time, you will be able. Okay. So now I'll take any doubts if you have any doubts, and then we can begin practice.
When you take the inhalation, is it what kind of inhalation will that be? Is it yogic breath or abdominal breath or chest breathing?
Chest. As I
Yes.
said, chest is moving. So chest
Okay.
breathing is taking place.
Okay.
In some places, Bhastrika, you will see abdomen moves. So variation.
Okay. So mainly chest moves, isn't it?
Yes, but of course, when the chest, you are expanding and contracting the chest, you will feel some movement in the abdomen because, of course, when you are inhaling, diaphragm is like going up. When you are exhaling, diaphragm is going down. So some movement you will be able to feel, but that is not the focus. The focus is the chest.
Okay. So, in chest breathing, we tend to take less oxygen than the abdominal breathing, isn't it? So in Bhastrika, how it's going to get more oxygen to the body?
See, the rapidity of the exchange is going to make the oxygen supply move. So now we are not like, if we do chest breathing normally, then we are almost taking the same amount of respirations in a minute. But when you do Bhastrika, that amount of respiration like increases because you are doing rapid. So by default, more oxygen is coming in and carbon dioxide is being released. So that frequency or the pace at which you are doing it makes the amount of breaths in 1 minute more. So more
Okay.
oxygen is being supplied per minute.
Okay.
And I have a question. You don't only for the pre-practice you cover one of the nostrils. For the practice, you inhale and exhale with both nostrils, right?
Practice is when we do it with both nostrils, and pre-practice was just to make sure both the nostrils are flowing with each nostril.
Okay, thank you.
Main practice is both nostrils, Bhastrika breathing, plus in the end, one round of 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐸. This combination is the main practice. All right.
Okay.
So if there are if there are no doubts, we can begin.
So what's the main benefit? So what's the main benefit of it? Create heat?
See, main benefit as per Hatha Yogic texts is it balances all the doshas.
Oh, okay. That's good. But lots of people can't do this, isn't it? Like lots of limitation for this thing.
Yeah, lots of limitations. So be very careful. If you have any of the conditions I've mentioned, do not go for this.
Okay.
Any other doubts?
So should your stomach be moving up and down or no? Your stomach.
See, main movement, main focus is on the chest, right? So even when we do chest breathing, normal chest breathing, then you will see there is some movement in the abdomen, right? Because diaphragm is like the point of connection, right? So diaphragm moves up and down. So when you do Bhastrika, you will feel some movement in the abdomen, but your focus is not that. Your focus is expanding and contracting the chest as much as you can during the practice.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I think we can begin with a practical session, right? So everybody
Yes.
just sit comfortably. Yeah, great. So sit comfortably on your mat. We're going to do a little bit abdominal breathing, and then we will directly do Bhastrika, right? So we will first do the pre-practice, single nostril, and then we will go for the main practice of Bhastrika. So three things we are doing: abdominal breathing, then we are going for the pre-practice of Bhastrika, and then we will do the main practice of Bhastrika Pranayama. So just sit comfortably on your mat, keeping the back and neck straight. And when you feel ready, just gently close your eyes. Begin to observe your breath. Just the natural flow of your breathing. Keep your body stable. And slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Start inducing that sense of control on the breath. Slowly bring your right hand, place it on the abdomen. Exhale complete. And as you begin to inhale, expand your abdomen. As you exhale, contract the abdomen. And take a few more breaths in this same manner. Keep the mind completely focused on the movement of your belly. Slowly relax your hand. Come back to your normal breath. You see how your breath has changed after the practice of abdominal breathing. Keep the back neck straight. Just keep observing. Keeping the back and neck straight, we are going to begin the pre-practice for Bhastrika. So form the pranam or the Vishnu Mudra with the right hand and close the right nostril. And start inhaling and exhaling rapidly through the left nostril using your chest. Go for 7 to 10 breaths as you feel comfortable. As you complete the practice from the left nostril, close the left nostril and begin the same practice from the right nostril. Once you finish the practice from the right side as well, you can relax your hand. Just observe your breath. Keep the back neck straight and prepare yourselves for the practice of Bhastrika Pranayama. At any point of time, if you feel uncomfortable or dizzy, completely suspend your practice and try to come back to the normal breathing, the normal breath, unless and until you don't calm down your breath. You can keep the eyes closed and keep working on that. We go for 20 strokes in the first round, keeping the back neck straight, hands in any mudra that you like. After your next exhalation, begin to inhale with the Bhastrika format of breathing. Just make sure you find the right stroke for yourself. Don't go for too rapid, a practice that is too rapid. Once you complete the 20 strokes, do one round of Surya Bhedan Pranayama. And then you can relax your hand. Keeping the back neck straight. Just observe your state of mind, your breathing after the practice. See how you feel. Prepare yourself for the next round. So keep the back neck straight. And we are going to go for 20 strokes. Go at your own pace. After the next exhalation, begin to breathe with effort, both during inhalation and exhalation. Once you complete the strokes, go for one round of Surya Bhedra. And then you can relax your hand, keeping the back neck straight. Just observe the effect of the practice. How do you feel mentally? We'll end the class with one Om and three Shantis. Keeping the back neck straight. Inhale for Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join the palms together, bow down. Let's just take out a few moments in a day to feel gratitude for everything we have. Wrap the palms together. Keep them on your eyes. Allow your eyes to absorb this heat. One more time. Wrap the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, open up your eyes. Coming back with a smile. Om Shanti to everyone. Namaste.
Om
There are any
Shanti. When we are doing the pre-practice, inhaling and exhaling from one nose and the other nose as well. In this one, we did really rigorously. So what is the normal pace for that? Slowly, or just before Bhastrika, we have done it rigorously?
Yeah, so it's different. Like this is a variation of Bhastrika basically when we do it with single nostril, right? So you can call it a pre-practice also or a variation. So because it is a variation of Bhastrika, it is done with that intensity and the same technique of Bhastrika. When we were doing for Nadi Shodhana, we were just normally breathing with one nostril closed. So that was different and this one is different.
Okay.
Any other doubts from anyone? All right. So once again, happy Dussehra to everyone. Enjoy your day, and rest of your classes are off for today. So enjoy.
So, what kind of homa and puja have you performed today? Because it's Dussehra?
Yeah, we had a havan in the morning and aarti over here.
Is it for Devi?
Uh, I am not very
Durga?
sure of that.
Okay.
I'll have to
Okay.
ask this question. Even I'm not very sure, but we did have havan and aarti in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day for everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
You
Yeah.
guys do enjoy your day and do take out time for meditation.
Yes, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Is there another class today or finished?
No, today all classes after 4 are suspended because it is a festival. It is the Dussehra over here in India.
Mm.
So we have off from now. So 2 classes, meditation and alignment, are off for today.
Oh, okay. Because yesterday she said that we had a class.
Yeah, she did. Later
Mm.
on, this like half day was given to both online offline students. So I posted it
okay.
on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have a good celebration.
You too. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.